Hey guys, Sharkin here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we're going to be we're just going to be talking a bit. So what my thoughts are on this patch 7.3.5, how I believe loot works, and why, well, how do I say this? A lot of people have been stressing because of someone making a video saying that you're going to get banned, it's all unintentional, and it's just not understanding how things work. And I might not understand as well, because none of us is Blizzard in the end. We don't know what they're thinking. They can do anything they want. They could build a box, put you inside. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want, and you can call it a bug, but they can call it intentional, and you won't know that. And the only reason we do it, we farm it straight away, is because if we don't think it's too much of a risk or anything like that, we jump in if it's like pretty alright stuff. So let me talk to you guys about what I did on the PTR. So on the PTR, and I'm also going to explain like the loot tables and everything. So this is like a pretty big video. It's going to be long, but it's going to be worthwhile. So with the PTR, what I did was I tested a couple of places, and they were scaling, they were dropping a lot more stuff. There was a lot of changes. There's lots of places that now drop less loot. Some places are great now. Some places are shit. You got to find out the places, and you got to test a lot of stuff. We haven't tested much. We've only tested a couple of dungeons and a couple of other things. I tested ZF back in PTR, and I didn't find any ZG items. Not a big problem at the time. I found out it should drop a glorious breastplate. Didn't see any leg plates, didn't see anything. But for me, that was okay, because I thought that's within their drop table, their loot table. I'll explain that in a bit. So the loot table and everything. So I left it alone. But of course, while testing it, I also found that it dropped 30 lockboxes per run, roughly. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Some people, jump the gun. It's PTR. Anything can happen. They could remove it all. They could scrap the entire thing. There's a chance they could scrap the entire thing and just, redo it again. Just keep it on PTR for longer. They can do whatever they want. So with that one, I believe the 30 lockboxes was a bug, because it's not supposed to happen. I had like hundreds and hundreds just putting my monk statue in wetlands, and there was no need for it. Like every single time I looted, I'd be looting like 10. I had like, I don't know, 400 maybe. There was a ton of lockboxes. So that one's definitely a bug, and it got fixed pretty quickly, and that's fine. But the thing was the glorious, and I kept it in my mind. I was like, I'll come back for later. A lot of people were testing other stuff. Who wasn't killing Scale Belly on PTR? Because everybody wants a chromatic sword. And now that it's live, there is a lot of people killing Scale Belly. And I have a thought that it drops, but of course we can't tell at the moment because the Undermine Journal and TSM isn't working properly. We just have to wait a bit. Not a big problem. So I've got my screen open to show you guys like the loot. So I'll explain the loot a bit. So there's 3 loot tables, like 3 giant loot tables in World of Warcraft. We're talking about just vanilla. So we've got the Kalimdor loot table, which is all the good stuff. We're talking about all the loincloths, because it's raggy horde stuff. So loincloths, we've got like the glorious, we've got Jade, we got everything going down. You think about it. We're farming level 30 mobs. We're farming level 40 mobs. We're farming level 20 mobs. Everything is good on Kalimdor. Then we've got the Eastern Kingdoms. The Eastern Kingdoms it's all right. It's got some good items. It's not worth as much. That's why we don't farm. Like, think about it. How many farms do we have over there? We have wetlands for the Buccaneer's vest and a pet. What else do we have? We have a black tabby, also for a pet and the Buccaneer's vest. And then we have a couple of transmog farms for numbers, not for, like, to get 100 loot an hour, 100 greens an hour, like the Burning Steps one. All those are that one. So I'm going to show you guys a couple. So we've got the ice avatars here. So I've made it. So they are level 54 to 55. This is pre 7.3.5. So this is just showing you loot tables. So you're looking at the lowest item they have is 53 item level. Then it goes all the way up. Wait, it's going the wrong way. I start at 58. So it goes 58, which is 3 levels higher and 1 level lower. And you look all the way down. That's all it can drop. Glorious. Vanguard. Lofty. And of course, if you look at Lofty, it only drops, surprise, surprise, on Kalimdor. Of course, from one exception. Deadwind Pass is the only weird zone in-game that drops the Jade set. Strange. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's from its old thing. Not really a problem, it's been there for so long. Right, let's take a look at the next one. So this is another mob, a bit lower, also in Kalimdor, also in Winterspring. Let's just put that, right? So we've got, I don't know which way I went. So 54, this is the higher end. 54, 3 levels above again, all the way down. And of course, you can find the same items as the other one. So Jade Fire Pants, you can probably find it on Ice Avatars. You just have to look. Then you go over, all the way down, 51, 50, and 49, and maybe even 48. No, just 49. So what's that? That's 1 level lower. So this is, you're seeing the pattern. And then you're looking at Formidable Breastplate, leg plates. Also, only from Kalimdor and ZF. Alright, so now we're looking at the Eastern Kingdoms. So we're taking a random look. This is random mobs. Of course, the Ice Avatars I selected specifically for the Glorious Leg Plates. You're looking at 56 to 57. So let's take a look. What do we start at? We start at 55. 1 level lower, guys. We go all the way. And then you see, now it's different items. Wow. Surprise, right? Where's all the Glorious? Where's that? There's nothing good. 59, 60, and that's not included. So 60. 3 levels above again. You guys are seeing the pattern. So let's take a look at the item. So Ebonhold Armor. This is one that drops on Eastern Kingdoms. Blackrobe Debts, BRS, Blasted Lands, Play Eastern, this is maybe, I don't know what that is. Strathom, Sunken Temple, Swamposaurus. You guys can see. Now let's take a look at something on generic table. The Rune Sword. The Rune Sword, item level 51. Blackrobe Debts, Burning Steps, Fellwood, Deadwind Pass, Searing Gorge, Strathom, Swamposaurus, Tenaris, Ungoro Crater. As you can see, it's both. So what they do is they have a level, let's say level 52, and it's just going to pick everything from 51 all the way till what? 55, and then just chuck in a couple of items like this. That's what they do. And then there's mobs out there with mob-specific loot. The mob-specific loot is the only item that is mob-specific. So an item that, let's say an item is 55 and the mob is 55, and then they scale it down to 45. He still has that item on his loot table. It's still in the files. When you ask a GM, they'll be like, of course it still drops. It's just very, very low. 0.0000000. They don't know. So in the end, once it's scaled back up, that's able to dropping it. Trust me, there is a lot of loot out there dropping. Mob-specific loot, guys. So now let's close all this. So we don't want Ice Avatars, we don't want Lofty. You guys can see what it is now. Technically it's the same loot table, it's just scaled. So when I went to ZF, it's the same loot table. It's the Kalimdor loot table. That's why all the Kalimdor dungeons are so great. Alright, so let's close this Rune Sword and let's take a look at the Plague Ghoul. I don't think I needed this one. Alright, so let's talk about if you guys think you're going to get banned, because I don't believe anyone is going to get banned. Unless you exploit something pretty big, which currently I haven't seen much. I've heard of an invisible pet bug from Archvalder. I'm not sure, but Archvalder's only there to inform other people. I don't think he actually uses half of them. So let's take a look. The formula Enchant Icy Chill. If you guys know this thing, you guys are in for a treat. I farmed this back in the day as soon as it got released again. So let's take a look. So patch 3.3, 3.5, let's look one before it. I got a drop around 30 kills at level 80. So this is patch 3.5. So that's Wrath of Lich King. What happened after Wrath of Lich King? Cataclysm came in, of course. Does it still drop? Everyone's like, no, no, no. I've spent 3 days farming this for no luck. After this, look. Everybody says. Never did. Got on the first kill. Then after that, he'll just be patch 4.1. No longer obtainable. Picked up from auction house. The Crusader was adjusted to new mobs. This wasn't. And let's keep taking a look. Okay. They're removed from the game's loot table. It's not actually removed from the loot table. It's just the level. Maybe this one was the loot table. You take a look. Where is the one I was looking for? There is one comment I really wanted to see. I might have lost the comment, but as you can see, it was removed from the loot table. And if it's brought back, are you going to farm it? Maybe. People did. This enchant is still in game. No, wait. Where is the first one say he found it? Pick up 2 in the last 3 days, guys. It just starts dropping. According to recipe list, this has been added back into the game. You don't know what Blizzard will do, guys. The enchant. And people made money. This was like 50k and you can get tons. I think I was farming and I found like, I don't know, 3 or 4 in like 10 minutes maybe. It's been a while. See? Anguish Highborn, patch 6.0.2. So you don't know. So let's take a look. What I thought. So you got these mobs which we farmed back in 7.3.2. So we farmed these guys in Silithus. Of course we did. Who didn't? So it can drop depending on what level you were. If you went in as level 54 or level 55, you can get the low end. You can get Jade Breastplate. You can get all these good stuff. And it goes all the way up until 60. If you got 110, you can get like Tibu's Blazing Longsword, all this. So it's all just one big loot table, and they just chose it. And now let's take a look at what we all were wondering. The Plague Ghoul. Let's look at his original loot table, his original one. Now I've made this so you guys can take a look at what drops. This is in case you were wondering what drops from Stratholme. So this is all his item level ones. It even went up to 63, all the way down, and let's look for the first blue we can find. The first blue would be the Stratholme Militia Shoulder Guard. As you can see, it's on its original loot table. It wasn't moved, just the level was changed. And once with this scaling, why shouldn't a Stratholme only item drop from Stratholme? The only reason it was removed, and Blizzard doesn't care much about us gold farmers. In the end, like, want to buy gold, they couldn't even answer his question properly. Still drop silk? It still drops silk. That's a correct answer because it still does. And I thought I turned that off. Alright, so Militia Shoulder Guards. Let's take a look. What else? What else? Gracious Cape. Also on the loot table. What else are we looking for? We're looking for Plague Bat Fur Gloves. We're looking at Juno's Shadow. All of these drop again because Stratholme dropping Stratholme gear. Doesn't seem like a bug to me. Doesn't seem like an exploit to me. In the end, it's what I believe should happen. Scarlet Monastery, I believed was nerf. I wasn't 100% sure, but I didn't see anything. On Student Albatross's stream last night, somebody got the Scarlet, like a piece of the Scarlet set again. So that's great for them. The Scarlet set dropping from Scarlet Monastery, it's what's supposed to happen. The Scholomance dropping from Scholomance, it's supposed to happen, guys. Like, I think this is intentional, and it depends what you think is intentional. Want to buy gold was deleting items on live. It's up to him, but he's like, it's unintentional. You don't know what Blizzard is thinking. And Blizzard makes a little bit of changes here and there, and they've already fixed ZG loot. Because I believe Zandalari trolls were coming back. Maybe they brought some Zandalari stuff back. Why wouldn't they? But of course, there's other Zandalari stuff out in the world, like from Isle of Thunder. And then what else? The one that definitely was one was Shadowfang Keep from Shadowfang Keep was dropping Scholarman's items. That shouldn't have been like it was, but it was. And I didn't make a video about that. I'm not blaming other people. I'm just saying I probably wouldn't have thought that one as much. That one was definitely a bug, but it's up to you guys what you want to think. And I've shown you guys. Blizzard can do whatever they want. They can bring a thing back and not even tell anybody. Why should they? If they don't want to tell you about a mailbox pet and dropping something, do you guys count it as a bug that it's in Dalaran? You guys, nobody cares. In the end, it depends what you think. And I think Want to Buy Gold went about it the wrong way and was a bit harsh, and he banned me from his thing and I couldn't reply to him because I was in his stream that day. I told him I tested PTR and he left 20 seconds of his video for me, and he said some pretty aggressive stuff. In the end, I tested and I believed it was correct, which currently it still is. They removed ZG and Glorious still drops. Maybe that's intended, guys. If it's up to Want to Buy Gold if he wants to delete his Glorious, his Jade, whatever he wants to delete. And that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to talk about the loot table, what I believed. So go out, go farm Stratholme. They're not gonna ban you for farming a dungeon, but in the end, in Blizzard's own terms of use or whatever, terms of agreement or TOS, terms of service, they say they can ban you for no reason whatsoever. They can ban you for anything they want. And there's nothing you can do about it because it's their game and they decide what they want to do with it. And it's not up to a few individuals to believe what they want. This is just my belief, and I'm not saying you guys are going to get banned. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this is what I reckon, and if you guys believe that my loot thing is correct, go out and do it, because there could be a lot of dungeons out there. There could be anything, because why wouldn't Scarlet Monastery drop Scarlet Monastery? Why wouldn't Stratholme drop Stratholme? It doesn't make sense for Blizzard to remove it. Sure, we're making a bit of gold now. It's what we do. We jump on and we make as much gold as possible while we can, because if you get in early, that's where you make the big dollars. People are getting those items sniped left, right, and center because they're worth 500k, region market value average, and people are putting it for 200k. Instant sell, 100k, instant sell. They're more than happy. But if this isn't fixed, which I don't believe it will be, the prices are going to drop. They're still quite rare, guys. People are doing 20, 30 runs before they get one single item. There's a lot of other stuff to farm. And I'm sorry, I think my camera's dropping in and out a lot. But it's okay. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look, you guys may be informed a bit. You have a good one. Bye-bye.